Hi everyone, made myself some lemonade. Used mostly water with some ice and a bit of lemon juice and actually 2 teaspoons full of allulose. Stirred it together and got lemonade. It's actually kind of a cool day out. Probably a little too cool for this, but it tastes good. Even though it's a plant, lemon juice is from a plant, it's still, us carnivores kind of ignore beverages. It just reminds me of UPS go by here. But I'm supposed to be getting some parts in today for my grill. The guards over the grill, over the burners are starting to rust away. Anyway, I came to talk to you about another subject here. One of the reasons that I go out of my way not to advise people, I mean, I'm 71 years old, almost 71, another few weeks. But one of the things that I've learned over the years, and I've had this happen a couple different times in my life, where I tried to help people by giving them, I think, was sound advice, and I ended up paying a price for it. Just to give you, I'll give you a recent example. I had a relative, much younger than I am, actually a cousin once removed. I was already retired, and this happened quite a few years ago, but still, I was already retired. And she had just finished getting her degree and her certificate to be a science teacher. Now, I'm trying to recall the different aspects of this, but at that time we were talking and on a friendly terms. She was from a different political viewpoint, which is fine with me. I had no problem with that, but there were some things that she was saying that were kind of disturbing to me that I felt were going to lead her down a bad outcome when she'd get to my age. One was to not depend on the government for everything. The government's not your mommy and your daddy. Okay? They're not going to take care of you. And you need to have a backup plan. Now, I have several backup plans that all of them could fail, but unlikely that all of them will. And my first plan is to live my life out in the house that I bought, and make my minuscule savings along with the Social Security that I do get, whatever level that it's at, make it last me for as long as I live. Now, that may or may not happen. Okay. But I'm hoping it does. So anyway, I tried to advise her about, these are some things you should look at. And I actually tried to help. I tried to help this relative of mine, but she got upset because our political views were different. She ended up blocking me on Facebook, which is where we were chatting. And it's a shame because I remember her growing up as a child. You know, I love this kid. I mean, you know, I don't have children of my own, so, you know, cousins, nieces, and nephews, they're like my kids to me. So, there was a funeral recently, and I went to the funeral, and it was an aunt of both of ours. And she said hi to me, but her daughter, who is, I think, out of high school now, actually I think getting ready for college, or maybe she's already a first year in college, I'm not quite sure, just looked at me like I was some kind of alien. And I thought to myself, I wonder what her mother said to her about me. Here I was trying to help her, and what I got was a blocked and her daughter looking at me like I was some kind of alien. It's at that point I said, you know, this is what I get for trying to help people. You know, there's a saying, no good deed goes unpunished. Well, maybe that's true, especially if people don't want advice, you don't give it. I learned that a long time ago, and I should have learned it, I should say, a long time ago, because I did do that one other time, and I had a friend of mine years and years and years ago enter into a field that I did not think he was suited for at all. Turned out I was right, but he was pretty upset with me, and because he had got back that I was like saying, man, he's making a big mistake going into this field. Turned out I was 100% right. After that, one time he asked me, he says, well, what do you think I should do here? This is years later, and I said, you know, I said I'm through giving advice. I said, I'm not going to render an opinion about what you ought to do. And he said, oh, no. He says, I'm asking for your advice. I'm not upset. I realized you were right. He says, and now I want to know what you really think. Now, I refused to give him an answer. I said, I'm not going to give you an opinion. You know, you go and make your own mistakes. And it's funny, now that's why I don't render opinions on this channel. Or I should say I do render opinions, but I don't give advice. Okay, there's a difference. I might tell you what I'm thinking, but how you apply it to your own situation, that's up to you. I'm going to drink a plant-based drink. At least the flavor is plant-based, mostly water, some allulose, which is also plant-based. Tastes great. Very few carbs. If anything, it will help bring my insulin level down, which is what you want to lose weight. I will probably go for a walk today. I want to also build my strength, which is contrary to losing weight. But still, I'm not going to advise you whether you should walk or not. I'm not going to advise you whether you should keep your insulin level down. That's for you to decide. You decide what to eat when you sit at the table, and actually following the government's tables about what's good and what's bad for you to eat, I ignore those. They're not in your best interest. They're in the interest of big food, big pharma, medical, and like investing advice. You give advice in investing. things go wrong, they're going to be so PO'd for you. So I never offer that kind of advice. Career advice? No, I don't do that either. Eating advice? Nope, I'm not going to do that either. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. You don't sit at that table when I'm eating. I sit it there. I make the decisions of what goes in my mouth, not you. And you make the decisions for what goes in your mouth, not me. With that being said, I think I'm going to end this video. I'm going to tell you all, the one piece of advice I'm going to give you is you try to have a great day. Okay? The day's not going to come again. Okay? I'm nearly 71 years old, and I can say that with pretty good level of confidence. You take care of yourself. Take care of the ones you love. Care about others, but don't leave the care of others into the hands of others unless you really have to. Okay, have a great day. I wish you have a great day. That is my sincere hope for you. I hope I have a good day. And I'm going to go out and do that. It's afternoon already. I had my one meal today. You saw it in the last video. And I'm going to probably go out for a walk just to get some exercise. I think it's good for me. And I will talk to you later. This is Carnivore Ron, and I am signing out.